Hi friends, and welcome to another episode of Moment to Pause. I am Faye, your host, and I am so excited that you are here today with me as we are exploring a topic that beautifully connects the ancient wisdom to modern living. I am delighted to be joined by Krishna, a multi-award-winning founder of Mylk Butter Co, a holistic skincare and wellness brand she began in 2019. She grew up between Hong Kong and India, and she deeply influenced by her mother. And from very early age, she surrounded by rich tradition of herbalism. Welcome, Krishna. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me here this morning, Faye. It's such a pleasure to be here. It's very excited. Been looking forward to doing this podcast and to be with you. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And also, Krishna is accomplished classical pianist and teaching over 20 years. Is that right?
Around 20 years. Yeah, I've been playing almost 30 years, so it feels a lot older than. I've been playing teaching for a long time, and it's I think wanting to find that creativity that's creating and being immersed in holistic nutrition and skincare for a very long time has led me to start Yoga Butter Co, which I started with Emily, which was a very close friend of mine, back in 2019, and it's been an amazing journey seeing it evolve and expand over the last few years, and connecting with people like yourself. So, yeah.
Amazing. So the topic that we are going to talk to is Ayurveda and the art of balance. So Krishna, for those who might be new to Ayurveda, can you please, in a really simple way, share what Ayurveda is and why it is still relevant today?
I think, as many people know, Ayurveda is considered and revered as a science of life for, people say, 5,000 years, but I think it probably goes beyond that. And it is the approach of it is really looking at the person as a whole, looking at the entire system, not necessarily just one part, your skin, this health of your skin, to your ailments, to they're not separate components, they're all one part of the same thing, they're all interconnected. And I think that's how I interpret Ayurveda for me. And there are so much in simple ritual practices known as dinacharya that we bring in. We each have our own prakriti, which is the constitution of the three doshas. I believe that in Ayurveda, according to the Ayurveda philosophy, that the universe and our body is all made up of the 5 elements that make up the 3 energetic forces, the vata, pitta, and the kapha. So that is like a blueprint of us, and that carries through with us for our whole lives.
That's beautiful. Now that you're talking about our life, your bringing between Hong Kong and India sounds very rich in cultural wisdom. Can you please share with us how your early experiences shape the way you see balance, Ayurveda, or healing?
I think I was very lucky in my upbringing with that. I was in a family where it was a real mix of beliefs in religious and non-religious, and my mother was a healer, still is a healer, and I was introduced to a lot of different healing modalities through acupressure, which she studied acupuncture, and she studied herbalism as well, and that was brought into my everyday. What we eat, when we're sick, all of that was knowledge that was passed on from my mum that we are still used to today with my daughter. And growing up in Hong Kong, it was unusual to be Hindu by faith. Most people were Christian or Buddhist, but my mum was drawn to Hinduism, and so she actually took me over to India with my grandmother from a very young age. When I was about 2, I would visit there and stay there for a few months throughout each year until I came to Melbourne. So I spent about 10 years going back and forth between Hong Kong and India, and that brought me to opening a whole new world of Ayurveda practice that I didn't know was called Ayurveda because I was, too young to know.
Yeah.
But being in the ashram there, whether it was at the foothills of Himalayas during summer or in Vrindavan, which is the sacred place for Krishna, each place that I went into was a healing place in itself. It was like stepping into a completely different world outside of what I was used to. Like, you would lose sense of time, and we would be immersed in bhajans, in chanting, in dance, in music. It was all around. Like, I would get up in 3:30, 4 in the morning. We would be doing our opening prayers together. We would be doing our chanting and meditating before we would take a long walk, on the mountains, and come back and share breakfast together. So every moment I was in India, I think coming back to it now, having not visited for quite a while now, that's still, those memories are still my core memories that I carry with me, whatever I do. And so the healing that I felt, that I experienced, was kind of got woven without even me consciously being aware of it into the brand that I was creating. And then through that, being in music as well, being immersed in the classical, being in the arts, all of that, I think, are in some way connected to.
Wow, how powerful, how powerful. It's actually very inspiring, because what you just said about, having the discipline to wake up, do the chanting, doing the prayers, and all together, they are so powerful. They are all energies that come to us.
Yeah.
And you also tapped into the topic that what we eat also is very important. So everything turns to a prana, a life force, isn't it right? Whatever we put into and onto our body, it turns to an energy. Yeah,
even with Yashram, my late spiritual master, Jagadguru Kripalu Maharaji, he would be very strict about who would be entering the kitchen and who would be looking after the food, because the intention that goes into the making of the food and the preparation of it and who you are serving it to makes a big difference. So he didn't allow just anybody to go into the kitchen, anyone. And so when you receive the food, you felt the blessing, you feel the love that goes into it. And we're not talking 20 people in the ashram. There would be 100, sometimes hundreds of people. And it was so busy. I remember as a kid going in, like, all I could smell was just the spices, the aromas of the food, and it was just, it was amazing.
Amazing. For someone who is new and they don't know what doshas they are, can you just talk about doshas? What are they, and how they affect in our life?
Yeah, I think we all have the 3 doshas in each of us, but we tend to be more dominant in one or the other. That can influence our personality as well. But with the seasonal changes that we're living in, that also can alter the dosha that we can be dominant in at any given time as well. And the vata being connected with the air, is being more light, where your skin can tend to be drier, your frame can be more on the slimmer side and being more petite. I know my daughter is, where if your digestion may may suffer a little bit because of that more than the Pitta dosha, where we are more of the fire element. We are connected with the fire and the earth, Kapha being the earth and the water, being heavier, being more, there's more fluidity, like your skin's often smoother, you tend to be more oily in the skin. Kapha can be more sensitive, Pitta being more, it's easy to be aggravated. I know I'm a Pitta dosha where I have more tendency to have a lot of passion, a lot of fire with everything that I do, but at the same time that can, if I'm eating more chili food, for instance, or fried, that can lead to more inflammation. It can aggravate my skin more, and that surfaces on my skin as well. So I've got to be careful to use something that's more cooling in the oils. And Vata, because it's more cooling, almost the opposite in that sense of Pitta, you want to have more warm, nourishing soup. And oils for your skin, like sesame oil, has more warming qualities, whereas for Pitta we want to aim more towards the coconut oil, where it is actually less, it's more beneficial for our skin. It's not as warm as the sesame. But for a lot of people who don't necessarily know what their doshas are and may not have the time to find out what the doshas and then to pick products that are specific for the doshas, we created a range that are tridoshic by nature. And what that means is it balances all three doshas. We don't have to worry about having to choose 1 or 2, 3 products that are specifically targeted for our dosha. And it makes the ritual, our self-care ritual, more effortless and intuitive. And it and also aligns with the Ayurvedic principle of just simplicity, of bringing everything into harmony. And that's what the tridoshic products do with our face oil, our luminous hair oil. It's not just multi-purpose, but it is used to balance any doshas that you might feel that is out of balance. So it simplifies it. I'd also like to add something about the doshas. While we have our own 3 doshas that we strive to balance on a daily basis, we also governed by the 3 doshas in the period across our years as well, from 0 to when we're in our 20s, early 20s, we're all in the Kapha period. And that's why you'll see kids with amazing skin. They're so plump. They've got flawless skin. Their pores are so perfect. And everything. They've got so much bounce and it's when we move into the next phase from our 20s into our 50s, we then transition into the Pitta period where we're busy working, building our career, having our own families, and we're on that fire energy where we're driving, we're really pushing, and we're passionate. We're finding what lights us right in life, and that's when that's also when our skin starts to be more sensitive. It starts to have more fine lines from the stress that surfaces, that we experience day to day, whether you're mom looking after your little one and you haven't had enough sleep, all of those things kick in to us. And we see that, right? It's a reflection, like our skin, I think, is such a reflection of our internal state, right? And what we eat and our stress levels, and finding ways to balance that through, whether it's through what you eat, what you apply, or your sleep, or finding time to do yoga, to do the things that bring you back, into to yourself, to connect back to yourself, makes such a big difference in this period. Because I know, like in Ayurveda, between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. it's at night is the period where our fire energy, our pitta, is right at its peak to do that body internal cleansing and the detox, right?
Yes.
And it gives us a chance for our body to do all the repair work to give us that resilience, that glow the next day that we need to strive. And so respecting that and knowing that or that window of time, and making even if it's hard to make one day in the week or 2 days in the week to sleep earlier, I think makes a big difference in rebuilding that ojas, that precious life energy that gives us that vital, vibrant glow.
Exactly.
Like, I know back in India when I used to get up at 3 or 4 in the morning, that's in the Vata period, 2 to 6 a.m. or 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. But when you get up in that period, even yesterday I woke up at 5:30, or there's certain days in the markets I get up very early, and even though I'm supposed to be tired, I don't feel tired. My mind's much clearer. I feel much lighter, and it's and I'm actually able to meditate better as well in that period. Do you find that?
Yeah, absolutely. When I wake up in the morning early, I feel much energized. I feel like I am way much better than when I wake up, for example, at 6 o'clock. And even that little 1 hour make a big difference. I feel heavy, I feel tired, I feel sometimes grumpy, and I'm like, why do I want to feel like that?
The days I wake up, I can sleep in this morning till 8 p.m. Sorry, 8 a.m. Not 8 p.m. But I find myself so much, I feel half dead. Sometimes.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel so tired. I feel my heavy. As you say, heavy. It's going into that kapha period. Right, where you feel the weight.
100%.
And I go, why do I feel like that? I think, of course it's because I went right into that next period of into kapha, and I definitely feel that difference. And energy as well. I find more energy when I am able to get up earlier in the day. And I find any spiritual work, I don't know if you relate in that way as well, that you're more I wouldn't say effective, but you're heightened in your attunement to your to yourself when you're meditating or when you're doing yoga.
It's something that I totally agree with you, that I feel my mind now, it's more ready early in the morning to dive deeper into myself.
It's that level of alertness. And you feel this stillness, I think, which sets the tone. And for the rest of the day. I find definitely. But it's little steps, right? Like, it's sometimes the idea of having to get up to meditate for half an hour is such a big obstacle. And I find, as you say, doing 5 minutes at a time, you naturally want to extend it that little bit more each time, and it's the small steps that make such a big change in what we do when we look after ourselves.
When I was doing my yoga teacher training, we get introduced to a book, Bhagavad Gita. And I start, we learn about what is Bhagavad Gita, trying to teach us and what's the lessons of the Bhagavad Gita. And one of them was taking action, regardless of what the result is, whether you are going to fail it or you're going to succeed or whatever it is, just take action. Don't postpone it, don't overthink it. Because overthinking sometimes stops you from doing it. So, the self-critic will come. So I cannot do it. I'm not good at it.
Exactly. Your doubt starts to creep in.
Exactly.
And then before anyone even tells you otherwise, you've already put yourself off doing it. Doesn't it?
So that's my ritual now. That's my mojo, I would say. Just take action. Even when it comes to the housework, like I am moving house at the moment, and things looks very big. I'm like, this is a very big task. And I say to myself, just do it. Do whatever you can do.
Just getting right into the action of doing it you reserve your energy
Yeah.
as well.
Exactly.
Right? You build your resilience.
Yes.
And you also notice that it becomes manageable when you're doing it in micro steps.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel as overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you really move through it much more, with much more ease. And stress than you would otherwise when you build it in your mind that you're going to do something. And it's it makes a big difference because you're a yogini, you're a full-time artist and also an entrepreneur. Like how do you weave, like, okay, so I suppose I'll go back to one step back. What started your artwork and what's your work as an artist and also as a stepping into the journey of going into yoga, into teaching yoga? Was there something in your own personal experience in life that drew you to it?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. It was actually very random that I got introduced to yoga. I feel like yoga somehow called me rather than I follow yoga. Maybe I was somehow in the state of mind that my heart that was ready to receive the physical point of it first. So it was very interesting that and I heard the word yoga when I was in my country and I was in a bus and I was going home from, I was a music teacher and I was going from one institute to another institute to teach music, and I was very tired and I took the bus to go home, and a girl came to me and said, "Oh, wow, you look very glowing today." And I thought to myself, "Oh my God, I'm exhausted. What is she really talking about?" I was starting having a self-critic and I'm like, "Yeah, I just finished work, I'm going home. What about you?" Just random question. I said, "Oh yeah, I just finished yoga." And that's where I got introduced to yoga, but just that's it, one word. And then when I came to Australia years after, maybe 3 or 4 years after, and I completely forgot all about it. I was studying in here and I submitted my project. I was studying interior architectural design in here at the university. And I was submitting my project and it was very late, maybe about 8 o'clock. It was July, everything was dark, cold, and I just wanted to go home. And I saw 2 women that was crossing the road toward the train station that I was going. And I said to myself, I'm just going to follow them. They look very fun. They look very good. I'm just going to go wherever they are going. Not as if that I was stalking them, no. But I'll find out they went to a studio, not really look like a gym. And I said to myself, I'm going to suss it out. I'm just going to go find out what is this about. And I went inside the studio and I asked about what is this place? What are you guys doing in here? And while the reception was explaining to me that, this is yoga, gentle stretches, it's really good, best way to relax and these sort of things. And I felt out of place. So this is out of norm. It's not something that I want to do. But I was in the place, I was stuck because
might as well try.
Yes, right. Exactly. And I said to myself, okay, I'm just going to try it. And everything came as impossible for me because I didn't even know English. English was my second language. I'd really confused my left or right. I didn't know the words. Nothing. I was
just watching imitation.
I was just complete mess. And the self-critic of, oh my God, what are you doing, Faye? What is this? You should have been home.
You shouldn't be here. You can't do this. Everyone knows what they're doing. You don't.
Yeah. And I was just, but we come to Shavasana, and I didn't know back in the day it was Shavasana. And we were just lying down, and the energy, the peaceful energy rushed over me, and I couldn't handle it. I started crying.
Yeah.
And I think that was the moment I completely hooked with yoga, and I wanted to know more.
It must have touched something deep within you that
I feel
made you feel that way?
I feel like I know now what happened to me back then. Because, for someone who lived in fear all the time, like I came from Iran, and, my life was, I was in a survival mood all the time.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make the, needs and, everything that, I just wanted to build a life.
Yes.
So I was always
wanted
on
to just make sure that you could get to the end of the day and you could actually
exactly
put food on the table.
And now I understand that I had the chakra problem, so maybe all of my chakras were blocked. And that first yoga and that shavasana maybe opens up some chakras, some energy
Must
points.
have released the stored emotions, the trauma and the stress right, in your body, and when you release it, you go, I can breathe, right? And you go, and you suddenly realize that shield that you have on, that when that dissolves away, you really feel, your emotions. You tap into everything that has been simmering underneath it.
Beautifully said. Exactly, that's how it was. And you know what, shavasana is maybe not all the people know the importance of shavasana, but that permission that you give to yourself to have the guilt-free rest and just be. I think it's something we all suffer a lot, to be honest. Giving permission for ourselves to have a moment to reset, to give something back to ourselves, and that already in itself for so many of us, especially as mums, when we're looking after other beings, especially little beings, I think we tend to feel very guilty. And we go, no, I don't have time to do that. I should be giving to other people. Could be your family, or people that you're taking care of may not be your kids, and it's very difficult sometimes to give yourself that. Absolutely. So that's beautiful that you found that and you're anchored into that. Well, at the time I didn't know what's happening, but now that I did my practice, I studied more. But that was just the opening.
That
was a beautiful introduction for me to, as you say, it was just the seed that planted in the right moment of my life.
When we are in tuned, or we have an invitation to tune in, and we are aware, we can make that conscious decision to act on that. And that following that intuition, or it guides us through to different parts of our journey that we would never have thought would be relevant to us, or that we would be on. Now you're teaching, do you have now I know you mentioned you get up in the morning to do meditation, yoga, and of course you're teaching, so you're connected with that as well. But are there other ways that you, other things that you do, other rituals, other practices that keeps you grounded on the every day when you're juggling, looking after your family? And
beautiful question. I absolutely love it. And yes, there are so many ways that yoga has been helping me in different ways. In these teachings. Yoga has 8 limbs, and they are all connected to each other. You cannot practice one without not practicing the other ones. And these 8 limbs, the most important ones for me is the yamas, the first limb and the second limb. Yamas and niyamas. So yamas is the 5 ethic or guidelines that how we relate to outside of us, the universe. And the niyamas is the 5 ethics or the guidelines that how we relate to ourselves, or how we treat ourselves, and how we care for ourselves. And these two has been very, very mentally at the beginning, it was really challenging because as an artist, we all have this, that what we call it is the imposter syndrome, that we are not always good enough. Someone else is doing it better. Yes. And this is the words that we say to ourselves, and this is part of the yamas. This is the non-violence. So non-violence to ourselves and non-violence to the other people, you know. And being authentic, and doesn't matter that what the trend is, what people like these days. What comes from within is always appreciated.
Yes.
You know, maybe not now, maybe in 100 years, yes. and it has been proven throughout the history.
Yeah.
So whatever comes from within is always beautiful. So for me, combining yoga and art in any way, maybe music, maybe painting, has helped me so much to overcome, first of all, what stops me from being authentic, what stops me from creating, and also help me to help others to be creative too. And that's the beauty of it. You know, in yoga we have tapas, which is discipline. It's part of the niyamas, 5 ethic. And the discipline comes from, no matter what you feel at the moment, you still wake up in the morning, do your meditation, do your spiritual practice, taking action. Doesn't matter what the result is. Start painting, whatever you are going to finish it today, or it's going to be liked by someone else. Just take action and do it, because practice always makes perfect.
It is, and it's when you are bringing your presence, your attention, and you have the intention as well. I think with everything that you're doing, that also is part of, as you say, the practice of yoga, right?
Yes.
It's the discipline of the art that you're doing, the art that you are refining to your teaching, the way you teach, learning from the people around you. It's through, for me, music, when I am looking at constantly as a performer, you're always looking to find ways to refine.
Exactly.
But it's and there's something very beautiful in that, right? That I believe I bring that into my formulations as well with my brand. I'm continuously refining what we create and wanting to always find a way to not just expand from what we are offering just for the sake of it, but really to create something that helps bring more harmony into our overall equilibrium.
Exactly.
From using it.
Yes.
I think that, like you say, like it extends, that practice and yoga extends all the way through different aspects of our lives and what we do, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. Now that we talked about the products, I want you to tell us about the idea of making your products. When did you start, have inspired to?
It's a great question. I think it came from a very young age, like when I was a teenager. I think when I started having a lot of sensitivities to what I was using, and I started looking at my cabinet, what was in it, what was in the food that I was eating, and all of that, and I started diving into holistic nutrition, to making my own products, and it was underneath kind of music and performing and teaching over those years. It was always a passion of mine. It was always an interest of mine, and something I had done in my own, was part of my lifestyle. And so having Hannah, where I had to stop performing a lot more, and I was teaching much more, I wanted a creative outlet. I wanted to find a way, not just that, I wanted to find a way to empower women around me more. When I went through a really difficult period in the early years of having my daughter, that pushed me to, and I think we went through COVID as well, in that period of time where I wanted to use what I've had a passion for and interest in. I wanted to hone into that. I wanted to use it as a means to help me reach more people, to empower mothers, so that we could build a community and connect with ourselves more, because I lost that connection a lot in those years with myself, and I found it really a struggle internally with, as you said, when we're going back in the conversation, giving permission for us to not feel guilty, to look after ourselves. And it's not something that we ever feel like we have the time to do. And that was one of the key reasons that pushed me as well to want to bring this into what we have today. And I wanted to find products that were multifunctional, that didn't have that didn't need 10 steps or 22 steps of a beauty ritual, right? Because it's really hard to have time for that, to have the investment, the energy. It's also so much of a waste as well when you have, we know in today's beauty industry, you have 70% of the packaging contributes to the carbon footprint. And I consciously choose glass and bamboo, and we're continuously finding better solutions, more earth-friendly solutions to help reduce that, so that it's not just a self-care ritual for women, but also a way to minimize the waste, where the products, the bottles itself, you can reuse it. It's meant to last you a long time. It's not meant to be used in 30 days or a week, and so it's wanting to support that. And when my little one, I myself suffer very sensitive skin, I wanted to find an alternative, a solution where it would not just tackle one problem or isolating one problem. I wanted it to look after multitude of problems with whether it was a breakout that I had, or fine lines, or my bags because I look like I haven't slept the night before, staying up too late. And that's why I created our signature product, Lumiere. Like, Lumiere is a primer for your makeup, but you can blend it into your foundation as well to give you that flawless skin. And if you don't do makeup, you can apply it even without a moisturizer. It's hydrating enough with the blueberry seed oil. We use African Kalahari seed oil, which offers some of the highest level of vitamin E, and also to regenerate our skin cells, to strengthen our skin barrier. It has organic moringa and amla that has bioavailable levels of vitamin C to brighten our skin. So all of those things help when we apply in our skin to give us that glow without the need of using so many different products. And that's something I love, and I've come back to time and time again, because for me, it healed my skin so much that I could walk out in the morning and go, I actually feel fine. I can be comfortable in my own skin and not feel anxious. I know that when we're feeling tired and we don't feel our best, we don't want to see other people. We don't want to connect with people. We want to just be in our own company. And creating Lumiere meant that it was one product that does quite a few things.
Let's talk about your multi-award winning hair product, hair oil. Can you please share a little bit of the process? What inspired you, and how was the process of making this beautiful hair oil?
When I started creating this formula with my business partner, my close friend Emily, we have the opposite hair types, which I think it helped us when we created this formula. Mine being thicker, hers being more refined, but we both suffered one thing in common, which we were both losing a fair bit of hair from a lot of stress from our everyday life, our work, and I wanted to create something that was a multitasker, that could be a serum, a leave-in treatment, and also a styler that we can just have before we blow away, so it gives us a beautiful finish, one that is light enough for for color treated hair, gentle enough for pregnancy as well, and herbs that revive and evoke our senses in a way that brings us to that state of calm as well. So in this particular one, we've used, I've since reformulated, but the main base of it is brahmi oil, organic brahmi oil, which is a herb that's made in the base of black sesame. And it's a more warming base, but it helps to improve the blood circulation on our scalp, to help with improving the hair growth and reduce the brittleness and the weakness of the hair, if you like, with the amla being more anti-inflammatory. So it helps to calm the heat, it helps to calm any redness or sensitivity that we've experienced on the scalp. And tamanu oil, I absolutely love using this oil because it is such a deeply reparative oil for in a myriad of ways, not just for the hair, but also for the skin, whether it's from scarring to providing that hydration, to repairing damaged hair from coloring it or from whatever, from the seasonal changes as well. So, and with that, I also add holy tulsi, organic frankincense oil, and cedarwood oils, amongst geranium, rosemary, and all the other oils to help strengthen and also really protect the hair. One of the more unique oils that I've loved using here, the last one I've mentioned quickly, is the Pracaxi oil. It's an Amazonian oil that is amazing for the hair. While castor is great for looking after our hair, it can sometimes be a bit too thick for it to go into for our hair follicles, and so that's where Pracaxi comes in. It's like a plant-based silicone, if you like, that helps give that overall manageability and shine without creating a coating like synthetic silicones that don't allow the hydration to actually penetrate into the strands of the hair that can lead to breakage. And that's one key benefit, if you like, of the Pracaxi oil that I love. And so people come back and use it, and they notice how much softer their hair feels without that heaviness.
And that's a product for a whole family, is that right?
It is very much.
So it's for the children,
Yeah.
adults, men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that I have had customers that have used it they've used Lumiere even for their beard, or they use the hair oil for their beard as much as for the hair, and they've really loved using it. And also with each product that we create, it really is poured with a lot of love. Like every bottle that we create, everything is hand poured from, and I suppose on the energetic level, I use Reiki energy when I receive the raw materials, and I clear the stagnant energy or any negativity we might get from the shipping, the couriers, the rushed energy, like all of that. We clear all of it before we start making it. And I set the sound healing frequency to 432 for every batch that we create, because that is, I believe, the one that resonates with nature the most. It's a deeply healing one, and I wanted to bring that in. It's a subtle. It's subtle, right? The energetic change, but I think when you imbue with that, and with also the intention of the person receiving it to feel nourished, I think when you use it as a customer, as a client, when you receive it, you experience that love that's being put into it as well. And I love I've recently added the affirmations to products as well, which I don't know how you find, you know, with working with affirmations, whether you bring that in, you use that in your daily.
Yes,
day,
yes,
you
I
know,
definitely use
like,
that. Yeah.
How do you find that? Like, how do you find that? Does that make a change for you, or do you feel a difference bringing that in whether it's in yoga, whether you're doing breath work, or it's, you know, you're going, or, you know, when you get up in the morning, do you include that in some way in your
Absolutely, in everything that I do. You know, we are not always. We live in a world that everybody seek perfection, and we are never going to be perfect, but we can always do our best. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the affirmation that I always have for myself in any aspect of my life, any aspect of my daily routine that I go through, whether it's a hard thing, whether it's nothing, whether I'm just sitting at home and doing nothing, I just say to myself, I honor myself.
Yeah.
I am enough. I don't need anything else. I am happy. I am strong. And that's affirmation that I give to my daughter too. You know, I always tell her that my daughter, her name is Erica, you know her, and I always tell her, you are strong, you are beautiful, and you are kind.
Yes.
And that's all it matters. And these are her affirmation every day.
And these have become so powerful because they become, what we say become their own thoughts of how they see themselves and how they think, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like little by little, without them consciously being aware of it, when they hear you saying it repeatedly.
Yeah, because that's very beautifully said. And I believe in something, the light bulbs in our head.
Yes.
That every time we say something kind to ourselves, as if we are turning a light in our head, and every time we say something bad and being violent to ourselves, you know, that ahimsa, as if we are turning off the light.
That light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love to live in light. I don't like to live in darkness. I don't think anybody likes to live in darkness.
Yeah, I love the way.
So the affirmation really helped me to be in the light and also walk in the light, and also I feel good with myself too.
It's bringing your presence of mind to that very moment as well. It's a way of doing that. And I think our mind often wanders when we're doing things, right? And we're routinely on kind of autopilot with, you know, organizing our day, making it like, or, you know, even when we're doing our hair or putting on makeup or face oil, like we do it without giving it much thought because our mind is somewhere else. And I think it's that bringing that the routine, the ritual is going from doing to being, right? And using our senses, like the way the oil feels, the texture of it, or the aroma that we can smell, what we can see, like all of those things brings us back to the moment, doesn't it? And when you're saying those words, you are really allowing yourself to hear it. You're telling that part of our brain, you know, that it is important that we. And I think that for me, like that's why I love using those affirmations. Like yesterday, I went to my daughter's room and she had been changing the way we're doing her room yet again, and she's and I noticed that she had written little affirmations on her own table. It's like, I am perfect as I am, or I am like, I love every day. It becomes like just really short, and I thought, oh wow, I didn't think that those things would necessarily resonate or stay with her. But it as you say, like when you tell them that from a young age, they carry that, and it becomes part of how they see themselves, and it's such a beautiful thing that you can
very
do for
powerful.
them. Yeah, immensely powerful. And I love with the products that I've recently also released. I'd love to share. The newest one is our Amara ritual. So it's a cleansing oil. It's an oil to milk cleanser, and with each name, not from the sourcing to the packaging, but I actually love putting time into thinking of the names, because I think that the words are such high frequency, carry such high frequency.
Yeah.
And when we say it over and over, we feel that, like, it released. I believe from what I remember, it actually triggers the RAS, so the reticular activating system, one part of our brain that filters those words that we think are important.
Yeah.
And it releases certain chemicals that in our brain that we start seeking opportunities where there is of abundance, of joy, whatever that we speak, it starts bringing that into our environment, into our attention.
Yes.
And I think that's why the words are so powerful. It's energetic resonance, if you like, when we say it. And so with Amara ritual being in French means ritual, of course, and Amara comes from the Spanish word amar, which is to love.
Yes.
And I particularly love this name because in Sanskrit as well, Amar means immortal.
Oh, wow.
And so it basically it's like it's a ritual of self-love.
Yes.
Or it's a timeless kind of immortal ritual that you carry, that you have with you through the time, through your lifetime.
Yeah.
And so I fell in love with this particular name, and I thought, like every everything that we do with intention brings that connection back to ourselves. It gives us an opportunity to say, I honor myself, I honor this care and this nourishment, and I think it is, as you say, such a powerful thing.
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
So.
Actually, it's one of the affirmations of today's episode is I honor myself.
Oh, really?
Yes. And we just
perfect timing.
Yeah, we're gonna do a bit of a breath work, a little bit after. Yeah. Before we wrap up, what's next for 2026? Any plan, any special offer, anything that you want to share with us?
I would love to offer your audience, your subscribers, 15% off from Boxing Day until the end of the year to enjoy our range of products. And there's free shipping for orders over 100 within Australia. For this coming year, we are looking to expand our little bit of our range, but also our horizons into UK and possibly to other parts of the world. So we'll have to stay tuned and see how everything unfolds. Yeah.
Amazing news! Congratulations for expanding to.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Before we close for the day, I want us just to reflect and just take a pause, like a moment to pause, as we always do. So I invite you to close your eyes at this time if it feels comfortable, and take a deep inhale in and exhale through the mouth. One more deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go completely. This time, as you inhale, silently say to yourself, I honor my body. Exhale through the nose. Make it settle in. One more inhale. I honor myself. Exhale. Now bring one of your hands over your belly and the other one over your heart. As you inhale, this time feel your belly rise, your chest expands. And as you exhale through your nose, let everything settle and find ease. One more of this. Empty out completely. Find the rhythm of your inhale and exhale. Let your thought go away. Inhale and exhale. Stay in the moment and pause. Remember, you honor yourself, your body, your mind, and you are enough. As you inhale, if it feels comfortable and you're ready, open your eyes and exhale through the nose. Thank you so much for joining me today in this beautiful conversation that I had with Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. It was such a beautiful moment that we shared about Ayurveda and the art of balance. And if this episode resonates with you, I want you to share it with someone or with a friend that might need a reminder of balance is important in our life. Until next episode, keep moving, keep breathing, and keep living your yoga. From my heart to yours, namaste.